We'll hear from a local dry ice facility working hard to keep up with orders to store the Pfizer vaccine. A Joplin woman's role in a St. Louis hospital's milestone.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Dry ice has taken on a new importance as a key ingredient to the safe transportation and storage of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine. This is KOAM News at 6. Pfizer's vaccine must be stored at negative 70 degrees Celsius to remain viable. That's about 100 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. KOAM's Kate Kelly shares how dry ice manufacturers are doing their part to help keep things cool.
CK Supply is the only dry ice manufacturer in the state of Missouri. It has 3 locations, which are Kansas City, St. Louis, and Joplin. Lately, this company has been getting extra attention.
We've been getting some calls from some hospitals, some local hospitals in the Joplin area. We've also been getting some calls from the health departments, and since we're kind of the only dry ice manufacturer in the area, a lot of them have found us.
Most of CK's ice is used for food packaging, but because Pfizer's vaccine must be stored in extremely cold temperatures in order to protect the stability of the messenger RNA, there's more interest coming from the medical community.
From a waste standpoint, we want to always have redundancy in storage to make sure that we would be able to manage ourselves through an issue with cold storage.
Moderna's vaccine is a bit more flexible.
So Moderna vaccine does have different storage requirements than the Pfizer vaccine. So it does not require that ultra cold storage. So it will be stored in the freezer, and then it also has stability in the refrigerator. So it will be a very nice option for our retail pharmacies and long-term care facilities for sure.
During the summer, falling gas prices impacted the availability of liquid CO2. This led to a dry ice shortage as manufacturers struggled to get carbon dioxide, a byproduct of ethanol. But now, things are back on track.
Some of those ethanol plants started curtailing their production a little bit, which caused a shortage of CO2, but you know, we've kind of gotten past that. This time of year, there's typically a slight decline in demand for dry ice, so we don't really anticipate that there's going to be an issue with helping supply some of the dry ice for the vaccine.
In Joplin, Kate Kelly, KOAM News.
Mercy is equipped with an ultra-cold 25 cubic foot freezer that has the capability to maintain thousands of doses of the Pfizer vaccine. So far, more than 500 Mercy employees have been vaccinated. The Joplin Health Department is providing an update on who will get the first doses of the vaccine. The first phase, called Phase 1A, is already underway. That involves vaccinating residents of long-term care facilities and patient-facing healthcare workers. Phase 1B will include those who are considered high risk, first responders, and essential workers. Phase 2 will include other high-risk populations like prisoners and the homeless. And the third phase will include all Missourians. The Joplin Health Department says how quickly we advance to the next stage will depend on vaccine distribution. In a news release, the Joplin Health Director, Ryan Talkins, said, quote, "At this point, COVID vaccine supply is very limited. As more doses and more vaccines become available, vaccine efforts will be expanded to other priority groups." The COVID-19 death toll in Joplin is nearing 100 after the deaths of 5 more people. The patients were one man in his 50s and 4 women, 2 in their 60s, another in her 70s, the 4th in her 80s. The latest deaths bring the county's total to 97. The state of Oklahoma provides an update on how and when teachers will get COVID-19 vaccines. On Thursday, Oklahoma Governor Stitt announced that teachers will be given access to the vaccine sooner than originally expected. Friday, we learned that includes pre-K teachers and support staff like bus drivers and janitors. That's at the same time as first responders, healthcare workers, and vulnerable residents. That process should start in January.
The educational piece for the state is a large number of people when you look at the whole of education. So we just wanted the pre-K through 12 in there to prioritize them. And again, some of those are going to be prioritized in there anyway because they might have been older or they might have had some comorbidities.
Teachers in rural areas should be able to get those vaccines several ways, including through their local health department or primary care physician. Checking in with Doug Heddy now for our first look at the weather. Doug.
Hey, Dan. It's about to be a pretty good day, actually, for us today. Temperatures over the weekend slowly were warming up. And then today we have mostly sunny skies, 60 for a high. Our average high is 46 degrees, so a good chunk above where we should be. We also have mostly sunny skies all day long. Still pretty much clear skies for us right now. A few mid and upper level clouds are streaming through. We do have another storm system we are going to keep our eyes on, which will roll in tomorrow night and into Wednesday. But ahead of it, it looks great. Our winds are starting to switch out of the south slowly. This is going to keep our temperatures up a little bit more for us tonight. And it's really going to allow us to warm up tomorrow. We're still sitting mainly 50 to about 53, 54 degrees across the region. We'll drop back through the 40s down to about 37 later on tonight. Of course, we're going to look at our warm up tomorrow and then into the holiday, all coming up here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doug. A Delaware County, Oklahoma man gets prison time after pleading guilty to charges related to a deadly hit and run. In 2017, James Winningham was arrested after hitting two people with his car in a Concord bar parking lot. One of those victims, 44-year-old Bobby Schaefer Jr., died in the parking lot. The judge sentenced Winningham to 20 years in prison on a manslaughter charge. 10 of those years are suspended. Winningham got 10 years on charges of assault and battery and leaving the scene of an accident that resulted in injury, and 2 years for leaving the scene of an accident that resulted in death. Those sentences will run at the same time. Federal prosecutors have charged 2 Oklahoma men accused of fraudulently applying for small business loans intended for coronavirus relief. Authorities allege Rafael Maturino of Broken Arrow and Adam Winston James of Tulsa worked together on a scheme to apply for Paycheck Protection Program loans. Maturino is accused of getting a loan for $97,000, while James allegedly got a nearly $126,000 loan. Prosecutors allege both men misrepresented their company's payroll expenses and the number of employees they had. Still ahead, we're going to tell you about a Joplin cancer patient's role in a St. Louis hospital milestone and how it could mark a big improvement in what's been a really rough year for her. And later,
we need to do something to make sure that this Christmas is special for all of the families here.
we're going to tell you how a local church is doing that for the women and children at the Washington Family Hope Center in Joplin. Joplin woman helped a St. Louis hospital reach a milestone by undergoing a procedure that saved her life. KOIM's Chris Warner has more.
In 2007, Jan Johnston was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. She underwent chemotherapy and radiation treatments and also received a stem cell transplant.
In the beginning of this year, 2020, it came back.
So she went to SSM St. Louis University Hospital for treatment.
She underwent many months of intensive treatment, both with chemo and radiation, to try to get the cancer back into a remission, which did.
Once the cancer was in remission again, she was able to receive another stem cell transplant. What makes this situation unique is she is the 101st person to receive a transplant this year, which is a milestone for the hospital.
Our program historically was, very small volume. We had done 20 or so transplants a year. And over the last basically 7 or so years, we've had steady about 10 to 20% gains in our number of transplants that we've done.
Dr. Fessler says he feels with COVID this year, the patients they treat are more susceptible to infections and other complications, making the procedure more valuable. In case of complications, you've got to live within 45 minutes distance of the hospital. Jan doesn't live that close, so she's got a long road ahead of her for recovery.
So I'll have to stay up here for 100 days. So I won't be home till about middle of March or so, probably.
Despite that long stay, she says she's celebrating what she calls her second birthday. I'm Chris Warner for KOAM News.
Dr. Fessler says it's important for Jan to stay close to the hospital just in case her body rejects the donor stem cells. Boy, we wish her well. Doug Hetty is up next with his complete forecast. And a little bit later, our sister station, Fox 14, is working to feed the 4 states. We'll explain how you can help get that done.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a great Monday for us today. It's officially wintertime now, and from this point on, evening daylight hours start to go the other direction, which is always nice. But, of course, temperatures are going to be going up and down over the next several days. Today was pretty good, as we made it right around 60, 53 still in Pittsburgh, 46, a little bit cooler in Miami, 50 in Neosho, Carthage at 50. Out west, Indy is sitting at about 48 degrees. And the winds have been a little breezy at times earlier today, and then they've been kind of diminishing over the past couple hours, but switching out of the south, and that's going to help us out as we work into Tuesday with even warmer temperatures than what we saw today. 50 right now, southerly winds 5 to 10, humidity is at 52%. We're going to drop back through the 40s, eventually down to about 37 later on tonight, which isn't extremely cold. Of course, it's still cold, but at least a little bit warmer than what we've had over the past couple nights. We have a few little tiny clouds streaming through the region, but in general, we look pretty good, mostly clear skies. But our next storm system is brewing out to the west, way out west, the Pacific Northwest. This system will start to affect us by the time we head into the daytime hours on Wednesday, actually late tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Now, ahead of it, we get strong southerly winds, and we really start to warm up. If you're getting up early, it's going to be cold. We'll start into the mid to upper 30s, about 37 degrees, but those south winds picking up throughout the day. That helps us warm through the 30s, through the 40s, 50s to 60 by noon, then a high temp of 66 during the afternoon, which is spectacular. Again, those winds are going to be kind of strong. We may get gusts near 30, 32 miles per hour, especially as we head into the afternoon. Then we'll start to see the changes. Clouds increase tomorrow night. I think most of the night's going to be dry. Maybe after 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, we could see a few random showers. Showers increase by Wednesday morning. Here's 7:30 in the morning. And again, the better shot for rain is going to be along and south of the I-44 corridor. Most of the rain that we do see will be out of here by 10, 11, noon on Wednesday. But behind this front, our temperatures will drop into the 40s. So we'll actually start the day in the 50s, but end up into the 40s by Wednesday afternoon. As we go into Thursday, a very cold start into the 20s. And then look at Thursday afternoon. Of course, Thursday afternoon is Christmas Eve. High temps. We're not going to have a white one, but it's definitely going to be cold outside as temperatures are going to stay into the 30s on Christmas Eve. So 66 tomorrow. Let's go 53 and dropping. So we'll start in the 50s, end up in the 40s on Wednesday with those morning showers. Christmas Eve, 37 degrees. We're going to have plenty of sunshine through the day. But if you are doing activities on Christmas Eve itself, great night to stay inside with the family as temperatures are going to be dropping through the 20s. So it's going to be very cold, a little bit warmer on Christmas Day, 44 degrees. And then we actually warm up quite a bit as we head into the weekend. So the weekend is going to be nice. We do have some wintry weather chances next week. We'll talk more about that tonight at 10.
Maybe a little hot chocolate will help on Christmas
Yeah,
Eve.
absolutely.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, we're going to tell you about a partnership aimed at providing food for homebound 4-state seniors. And for some, Christmas shopping has become a chore, but for the women at Washington Family Hope Center in Joplin, this year it was a joy. We'll tell you about the effort behind that joy next. As Santa warms up the sleigh and we rush to do some last-minute holiday shopping, not everyone has an easy time making sure there are presents under the tree, let alone food on the table. This would be the case for families living at Joplin's Washington Family Hope Center, but fortunately, they are surrounding themselves with a whole lot of love. KOIM's Jesse Irwin has that story.
Women are not allowed to do whatever they want, so they have to follow the tradition. You are not free. You don't have that freedom.
That's what Marcella Pio says life is like in the Republic of Congo, and what drove her to come to the United States.
I moved here, it's 3 years and I would say 6 months. I came to study and I didn't have much time with my son, so I was working day through night, so it was kind of exhausting and I couldn't do it anymore. So I was looking for an apartment and I got the chance to have a room here.
Here is the Washington Family Hope Center in downtown Joplin, which opened in June. As part of Watered Gardens Ministries, it's a shelter for mothers and their children, and it's where Marcella and her son Akil have built a sense of community, not only with the staff members and other families, but with the community volunteers like those with Wellspring Church in Webb City.
Getting to know the families and investing in those relationships, we actually had a family from our church approach me and say, we need to do something to make sure that this Christmas is special for all of the families here, no different than any of us or any other year.
So they took all of the mothers holiday shopping. Little did Akil know that while he and his friends were busy playing games at home, their moms were busy helping Santa.
Some of the moms were looking for clothes, some of them were looking for electronics, some of them, all of them were really looking for toys, just to help make this Christmas special.
And at Water Gardens, everything we do is a reciprocal thing. We don't just give handouts, everything is earned. And so we were trying to think of ideas of how the moms could earn this shopping experience.
So the moms were given the task of decking the halls of their home with the holiday spirit.
For them to be able to take that and use that as their earn it to be able to go shopping and buy gifts for their kids where they earn that. It's not just somebody handing them money and them taking that, but they're earning that money, they're earning that experience, and that provides dignity, which we feel like is very important.
Looking toward the future, Marcella is currently working to get into a nursing program. While she's grateful for what she and Akil have today, she looks forward to the day she can pay it forward.
Washington Family, I know for sure that they will do more for more women, and I'm just praying that I will be able one day to help, like donate for the lady as the other ladies donated for me.
Again, that was Jesse Irwin reporting. Tonight at 9 on our sister station, Fox 14, you're going to get the chance to help feed the 4 states. Each year, we ask you to donate non-perishable food items or money to buy food for area food banks. This year, Fox 14 is hosting a telethon to collect money for this project. Your donations tonight will help us buy food for places like Crosslines Ministry.
Because, so many people in our community face hard choices every month. Food is one of many hard choices that people have to make. When you live, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, when money's tight, you have to choose, do I put gas in the car or do I go, get groceries?
Again, you can make monetary donations by calling tonight during KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. You can also donate on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A new partnership will help feed 4-state seniors. The Area Agency on Aging and the Economic Security Corporation are teaming up to provide meals for homebound seniors. The Area Agency on Aging has had a waiting list for their home-delivered meals. So the ESC stepped in with CARES Act funding to help clear the backlog. You can help the agency's meals program too. There will be a fundraiser tomorrow in Lamar starting at 11 a.m. at the Moore Pavilion. Final check on the weather is next. Take time now to honor a local veteran, Gerald Dietz. The Pittsburgh native served in the U.S. Navy during the Vietnam War. And we are proud to salute Gerald Dietz. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Let's check back quickly now with Doug.
All right, Dow, it looks like it's going to be a cold night as we drop back into the upper 30s, but tomorrow looks great. Partly sunny skies, a little windy, 66. Rain chances by Wednesday and turning colder.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.